10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
And welcome back to the TI5 Yasha stream. We are here with the American Qualifiers, our second game of the day. It is Root Gaming versus Complexity, our first series. Classic American Dota in that first matchup. Thank you so much for joining us, guys. My name is Matt. With me is Cuddle Guy. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing great. We're feeling a lot cooler now. We've managed to get the AC on.
Yep.
It was a bit sweaty in here before, but that's good. We were getting hot and heavy because of all the action that broke out in that first game.
Yeah, it was actually lots of team fights coming through. Complexity with an early advantage. They transitioned that into an okay middle game. Late game was fantastic. And I think a big point of emphasis, which we touched on a lot, was Fly's Rubik. He played fantastic in that game. His Rubik, outstanding. I said it multiple times. I don't know how else I can say it, honestly. It was a very good play.
Fly's Rubik was good.
Yeah, there you go.
I'll just say it again for you.
Nice.
Well, here we are. We're in game number 2 of this best of 2. Now, remember, if Complexity come out with another win here, they walk away with 3 points. Whereas if Root get their win here, it's just going to be the 1 point apiece. So Root would really love to get a victory here. Otherwise, Complexity are just going to be skyrocketing to the top of this group, where Root Gaming were anticipated to be in that top 2 position. So we'll see here. Opening of the draft, same start. There's going to be a ban of the Quap on Root, and Complexity are going to ban the Wisp. Last time they banned the Drow here. Will they change it up?
I would hope so. I don't think Drow was really a useful ban in that situation.
Oh,
and they go for the gyrocopter, which makes sense. I mean, it's so hard to fight around that hero early game, late game. You have the call down to zone everybody out. Flat cannon, very good late game when you have an MKB, and it just blows up your lineup. That's something we didn't talk about is flat cannon, the MKB, the damage the Drow was pumping out in the late game. There was a lot of it. Like it was actually just ridiculous how much damage he did later on down the road. So Root Gamer are like, okay, we don't want to deal with that. That's fine. On the other side, another Leshrac ban. So this is the same start for Complexity Gaming, I believe, as they had last game. And then the same pick for Root Gaming. They go for TC Shadow Fiend.
Another dire side TC Shadow Fiend. Very interesting. Still leaves the Chen out there. If Complexity want, they could just pick the Chen again.
Yeah.
We'll have to see. It did some good work. Z-Freak, you know, he played a really good, respectable Chen. They tried to go for that early gank. Came up a bit short, but he just kind of stuck to his guns, got his farm, pulled out some great heals, great sustain, was there for the push when necessary. No reason why they can't pass on it unless they're just kind of bored with it when it goes something else. But nope, they don't. There's the Chen.
And the DK. I mean, all you're missing here is a gyrocopter in this draft. You got the same looking draft. And hopefully for Root Gaming,
no Sven.
We're not at that third pick yet, but hopefully they do not go for the Sven. They pick Sven's second pick, and I walk out. I'm just done, man. I can't handle it.
Yeah.
Can't handle it.
Last time they went with the Dazzle, still in the pool, still available if they want to kind of get that. And, you know, credit to Fun. He pulled out some good shallow grave saves in that last game. But they're going to step aside. They're going to go for the early clinks. Now, this was banned in the last game from Complexity. I have a feeling there's something there that we just don't see. Maybe these two teams scrim pretty often, and just Complexity know that Root love to have clinks in that arsenal now, in this new patch. Same way that EG likes to pull it out from time to time. Root Gaming is probably going to be one of those teams, and now I'm getting a bit more eager to see why they put so much value in this clinks, enough that Complexity had to ban it out in game 1, and now Root Gaming want to make sure they get it in game 2.
I would think that it's due to the fact that Clinks is just so good against the Chen, but I am not 100% sure about that. Maybe you're right, maybe they have scrimmed, but I don't think teams like showing what they go for, especially right before the qualifiers. You don't want to give too much information out to a potential enemy, especially an enemy in your group. So it's kind of interesting, but it is a Clinks second pick, and I'm totally fine with that. There's not going to be a Sven. I'm almost positive from Root Gaming side. I really just don't see a Sven coming out.
So who's your typically good companion with Clinks? Actually, you know, you say why Clinks is good against Chen, which I back you up on, but you know, typically Chen's also a great partner for Clinks. You get free creeps to use your pact on, and then of course Chen's got that nice bring back to base, allows Clinks to get a bit more extra aggressive if split push is necessary.
Just somebody with disables, honestly, like a Rubik is really good because you can bring him back, get the most out of your strafe if possible. Anybody also to keep Clinks alive too?
Yeah, good zoners. Like we might see the Shadow Demon now come up for Root Gaming, or someone who can really secure Clinks' farm at the start of this game.
Shadow Demon's like the best of both worlds. He's got really good positioning and disables, and he's also got the ability to save a teammate. So I think Shadow Demon is just a generally well-liked hero in this patch for many reasons. Like he's a hero that everyone loves to pick up, and I would not be surprised to see Root Gaming go down that road unless Complexity ban it out. They did ban out the Earthshaker, which is another good pairing with the Clinks, I think, because you have that block in. Cannon, and then of course you have the really good stun.
And he's a good babysitter to the Shadow Fiend. You'll see him often kind of hang around that mid lane, help secure Shadow Fiend, which is something also Root Gaming might need to consider. On top of being able to have good zone potential against whatever the offlaner may be for Complexity, you got to make sure you can help out your Shadow Fiend when necessary in case the pressure does come, which is usually anticipated from the Chen. And we saw it last game. Complexity do not shy away from getting aggressive early with that Chen. It's got to be something that Root Gaming do look out for.
And I'm not sure if Klinks wants to fight early on with this Klinks in their lineup. I don't know if that's really the best idea. Maybe they get him a little bit more farm. Zeus will come out as the last ban here in this 4th ban phase. I think that's really solid, just for being able to nuke down a lot of these heroes. I'm a big fan.
He's typically good against those illusion-based heroes, which Ziz does like to play. He's a PL kind of a player. He maybe will even pull out a Naga from time to time, but now they're going to move on. They're going to have the secondary support of the game, and they're going to be the ones to now take the Dazzle.
The Dazzle is an excellent pickup. We talked about armor and how it worked in the last game for Root Gaming. It really didn't unfold the way they wanted it, but they have now a DK who's already buffed up from Dragon Blood, and then also you have the Weave combination as well. Shadow Wave, Shallow Grave. Again, it's another Swindlemelon's DK that probably isn't going to die very often. He's going to be up front. He's going to be taking a lot of damage. He's a big badass. But
yeah, I do want to say, though, outside of the Chen and that potential early gank, they don't really have a whole lot of early aggression now from their supports. It's not like Dazzle's going to be running around, trying to look for early ganks and setups on the opposing lanes or trying to get some work done on the opposing offlaner. So maybe Root could feel a bit more secure getting that bit of extra early information from the Complexity side. So with that, they're going to go with their first support. It's the Witch Doctor.
That is fantastic against Chen for so many reasons. Obviously, the cask is very good. You have the Death Ward to go through as well, which is just going to be a fantastic... The problem is it's all physical damage, so the Weave and the Dragon Blood, it's not very good against the DK, but...
Shadow Fiend helps out with that with his presence of the Dark Lord. Amplifies, even more from that Death Ward.
Yeah, I think... So it's certainly not... Witch Doctor's never a bad support, honestly. It's just what else do they pair him with? They have the cask lockdown. Maybe they want another, disabling hero. Again, Shadow Demon is available. I'm surprised neither team has picked him up. Dazzle obviously already the secondary support from Complexity. They won't be going for an aggressive core Shadow Demon as much as I would like to see that. That's not going to happen.
Undying has also been ignored. It was ignored last game, and it's ignored up to this point. There's the PL. They love their illusion-based kind of heroes. It kind of was a bit of a giveaway with the Zeus being banned out there, and yeah, there it is. So what's the answer now for your Phantom Lancer? I still enjoy the Shadow Demon. His poison certainly could help out, clear it a bit, but it's going to be hard.
Root Gaming have already cornered themselves in this kind of single target lineup with the Klinks, Shadow Fiend. They go for the Broodmother 4th pick here.
Oh, very
That's
nice.
a very solid pick. It would have probably been banned out between one of these two teams in its 5th ban phase, but Broodmother is going to be picked up for Root Gaming. And they don't really care about the Phantom Lance right now. They might be able to put pressure on him early on in the game, but it's more about split pushing, finding picks with the Klinks and the Broodmother, just being annoying essentially for Root Gaming, and then counter push, take down towers while Complexity are grouping up and pushing other lanes. The Broodmother's not going to come to a fight. At least I don't think she should. But she can certainly do her own thing by getting kills and taking out towers in her own right.
It's going to be tough for Dazzle. Dazzle typically not one to be able to do well against a Brood in the early game, and Shen's obviously not going to be there to help out. This Brood should have a pretty damn good time.
They still have an offlane pickup. They could go for Axe for Complexity Gaming side, and I would not be surprised to see that. That's the one hero that is so good against Brood. Even still after the nerf's Axe received, that's top tier pickup against Broodmother.
Z-Freak was their Axe player for quite a while when he was in the offlane. Now he's obviously going to be playing the Chen. Moon Meander, though, I'm sure he knows how to play an Axe.
Darkseer is also good, too.
Yeah, Darkseer also is a great option against Brood, something that he played just in the last game, something that's still available now. Outside of that, Bristleback is the other good candidate to go against a Brood. So one of those three to be expected here from the last pick of Complexity.
Which, now that you're kind of we're laying these heroes out against the Broodmother, I'm almost thinking, is this going to be that great of a pickup? They have ways to solo kill her. They have ways to deal with the Spiderlings if they get one of those offlaners. I would not be super shocked for Complexity to pick any one of those three. Undying is banned out last ban, thank God. I can't believe that is a value ban and went all the way to the 5th ban spot.
Yeah. Would have been good, though. Would have been pretty selfless now of the Witch Doctor then to have to be that real. I mean, I guess Root Gaming loved their selfless. Last game, it was Dazzle Carl on the same team. That's very passive.
Yeah, very.
So it just feels like now they're going to look to be a bit more aggressive here. We'll look to Root Gaming now. I'm anticipating they are going to be banning out one of those big three between Darkseer, Axe, and Bristleback. Seem to be my top options. I do like Bristle. His armor synergy with the Dazzle certainly works out. Having that extra tanky frontliner works. It does put a lot on the melee side of their lineup, though. Even with any of those picks, they're all melee. Could be a bit tricky for them to be able to jungle someone like the Clinks, or juggle rather the Clinks, who's kind of, diving in and out. Same with the Shadow Fiend. It's going to be tricky here for Complexity. They have a lineup right now that just really needs a lot before they can really thrive.
Yeah, I mean, the Phantom Lancer obviously needs a bit of farm, to be sure. The Chen DK obviously helped in that regard, getting some early game aggression. There's, like you mentioned, there's very passive supports as well for the Dazzle on Chen until Chen hits a couple of creeps and is level, in 4 minutes into the game, maybe even has level 6. Legion Commander was banned out, which is very good against Brood as well, but I don't know, because this is such a good Darkseer game as well against all those heroes, Brood, Clink, Shadow Fiend. If you wall all of them, you're just going to die. That's not a fun team to fight into in terms of wall of replica. It's so tough, man. 23 seconds, and they have so many options here, too, for this offlane. I don't know about this draft from Root Gaming. This Broodmother might have been too early.
Might have been, but then you risk them banning it out. They did ban it last game, Complexity. So it just seems like Root Gaming are putting more priority on making sure they could secure something like the Broodmother, still have a secondary option for the support, maybe something like the AA, which would be good against all the sustained power of the Chen, of the Dazzle, and, could be a bit of a headache for Dragonite, who likes a lot of the extra regen, but they're going to be going with the Spirit Breaker here. Very good against the Brood as well.
Yes, that's very good. That's a solid pickup, especially if you have another hero to rotate in and gank the Broodmother with. You keep the vision. You just need detection. Carry dust on that Spirit Breaker so early, and you're fine.
Same goes for the Clinks.
Yeah.
Charge out the Clinks. You're going to be exactly, knowing where he's going to be moving. So
it's a 2-for-1.
It's a 2-for-1. Lina, going to be the last pickup here. Not going very disciplined and passive in the support lineup here from Root Gaming. This time, they're going a bit more brash and hot. I love it.
Yeah, I think they could have really gone for the Shadow Demon instead of the Witch Doctor. That would have been my preferred choice for their first support, but I do understand what they're going for. I think Root Gaming have a solid lineup. I think the Broodmother might get crushed if she's not careful, if Monkeys Forever is not careful, but it is Monkeys Forever playing it. We'll see how he does. I think it's going to be in the offlane unless they want to do aggro.
You got to remember, Chen is going to be in the jungle. He's not going to be there. It's just, worst case scenario, he gets zoned back a bit, but he's still going to be close enough and able to get that level 3, get that early, Soul Ring built up, and then he's going to be the one looking to take over that jungle that Chen's trying to work with. So there could be a lot of pressure here on the offlane setup, on Monkeys Forever, to be able to thrive on this Brood, draw attention away from the others so that your Clinks and your Shadow Demon can really build up. And then at that point, they have so much in their arsenal that they can just kind of close this game out in the series 1-1. But Complexity also looked pretty damn good.
Yeah, honestly, I think that's the reason they pick up the Broodmother, is just to get other, like you said, pressure off the other lanes. Make sure that, that Death Ball-y type style that Complexity were playing in the first game doesn't really happen, but there's still a chance, especially if Root Gaming lose their Broodmother a couple of times, that this could go sour very quickly. And TZ, I expect him to have a great time again. He crushed middle lane, but it didn't really matter in the end when you think about it. He absolutely demolished Swindle Melon's last game, but it didn't matter. Swindle was able to get farm, he was able to team fight, and TC he didn't have enough in his arsenal to carry the game on his own. I think a lot of that also had to do with the Lone Druid pickup, which was fine, but it didn't do as much as maybe they had wanted.
I honestly would have considered, Root Gaming could have maybe even put the Broodmother in the solo safe lane to go against a Spirit Breaker, which is a matchup Brood should be doing just fine and dandy in, and then have more of an aggro tri-lane setup to be more of a headache against Ziz and his PL, who only has a Dazzle by his side. But they're going to go with the former option, keep Monkeys at the bottom. They already planned out the web form and everything. They get a couple of wards down, just like the last game. They're going to block out the pull-through. Easy as he goes here. Complexity now rummaging on through, anticipating probably they're going to need to have these sentries. They have one for Z-Freak. They already drop it down, and they're already going to get the ward. So easy, $50 now picked up for Complexity, and they'll be able to with that pull-through.
Yeah, I'm surprised they were able to get that counter ward. There is one ward here. I don't know if that should block the camp. I'm not sure. They have another sentry.
Close to that box.
Fly will be able to counter it, though, probably. He should understand where that ward is placed, and we'll have to wait and see if that's going to be a big issue. Z-Freak is already going to head top. Currently, he might just go back towards the base and look for a block. Yeah, he's just going to block for Swindle, who went to get that bottom rune. He was able to pick up the bounty. TC gets the bounty on the other side. So does your mid laners, picking up the early advantage in the bounty. Down bottom is going to be so far a dual lane, obviously, for Complexity against Monkeys Forever. He can run rampant in this lane, and they're going to have to get the Spirit Breaker involved pretty early, I feel, because Ziz might not get the farm that he's looking for against Monkeys Forever. We'll have to wait and see how they play this. They do have 2 sentries and 2 dusts of appearance for Fly. So.
That is a lot of invested into detection. They already had to get those 2 other sentries just to, remove the wards in the jungle. Now they commit to 2 more sentries plus 2 dusts. It's a lot of hate for your Brood here. They better get a lot out of it, otherwise it's just going to be almost all for nothing in this setup. Now Monkeys does show himself. They let him know, hey, we got detection here. And he's just going to have to play things a bit more easy, but it is just Brood going against the 2 of them. Broodmothers have had to go against a lot worse.
Oh yeah, absolutely. This is not a super difficult lane. It should be okay for Monkeys. He's sitting back here in the tree line. He knows where the sentry is placed. Fly might put another one down here. He does. He sees exactly where Monkeys Forever is. He throws down his own sentry. Monkeys Forever might be able to clear that one up. He does. He kills it.
Yeah, he got stuck also in the trees. Had to plant the extra ward here, but nice on him. Able to remove that secondary sentry. Knows that the right side of this lane is going to be a bit more safe. So he's going to hang onto that side and just try his best to, you know, do your Broodmother thing.
The good old Broodmother thing. The most cancerous thing in all of Dota from time to time.
And Moon is going to have a hard time as well. Always has that charge out in case pressure is there, but he's not going to be getting much or anything at all. And this is what I was expecting. You know, this secures a lot of early farm and a nice, good head start for your Moo Clinks. As really, there's nothing that the Spirit Breaker is going to be able to do about it.
Fun one for early Maledict, so he doesn't have that cask if they wanted to set up a kill. But as soon as they get levels on those supports, Moon has to be very careful. He walked back a little bit. I think he maybe blocked the creep wave, but he's going to head towards the top rune spot, which Fluff will try and grab. He will not get it as Fluff gets charged up. LSA is available. Moon does have bash, doesn't get a single proc there. Down bottom, Monkeys Forever still staying by. Throws up the spawn Spartalings. I think his Soul Ring is going to be coming out pretty soon.
It's already level 3 and only 2 minutes in. This is great for your Brood. And look at the mid lane in the CS comparison. 13-3 on TC Shadow Fiend to the 6-0, which was actually only at 3 CS just a moment ago for Swindle. And also he's going to be picking up a nice little DD rune. Bottles it on up, pulls on back, but just like we saw last game, TC, with his good head start, regardless of being on that dire side, regardless of typically a Shadow Fiend, struggling at first and then being able to kind of pick up the pace as he gets his level 4, level 5. Now he's got a really good head start.
It's just a good matchup, honestly. DK can't last hit even early on. Like, he has to use his Breathe Fire when he doesn't really want to. That early, damage that TC is missing or that a Shadow Fiend is missing doesn't matter as much, especially if you go raise first as well. So suddenly he's up to a very fast start. He's 18 last hits with 6 denies, no surprise there. And top lane is also a fast start. You're looking at 17 last hits, only 14 for Ziz. Monkeys Forever is clearly having some part in this lane. Doppelganger is going to go. They're going to charge him as well just to make sure he's got vision, but he's going to try to TP away, and he should make it. Last right click. It does get there. The TP to the tier 1 tower. Fluff was TPing in. He made the TP to the tower longer. Fluff actually kills his teammate. First blood goes to Complexity. Are you kidding? Oh, he's mad. I would be upset if I was the Broodmother in that situation.
That was the second difference or so just to make it out alive. That's very unfortunate there. And missed timing from both sides. Fluff will have to take the reins of the lane for now, but that is a huge boost. This is Complexity's one lane in the early game that they're actually winning. The other two not going so well for him, but there you can already see the potential of that Spirit Breaker adding so much even across the map.
Just to get the vision. He wasn't going to be able to get there in time, but it's still enough. And Fluff just makes a critical error. He just needed to TP to the tier 2 or not TP at all, and he stays alive. That Broodmother might be low, might have to go back to base, but Monkeys Forever. You could also argue that he should have just TP'd home instead. Doesn't do so. Turns into a disastrous set of consequences. Complexity is going to head back towards the mid lane. Swindlemelon's still trying to get up there in CS. He's 14 now, 23 for the Shadow Fiend. I don't believe they have any stacks to the jungle, so he won't be able to take advantage of those just yet. And there is a charge on Monkeys Forever. We'll see if they complete this and go for the kill.
Obviously, not ideal for your Dazzle to get that first blood bonus, but hey, support's happy to take it. That means you get those boots a bit sooner, you can get those extra consumables, the extra wards a bit faster, and, well, they have the charge out right now. Monkeys Forever sees the pressure coming in. Can the three of them finish him off? They got the dust there to pop on up. The heal bomb is going to do a nice bit of work, and they're going to squish the spider, and now Complexity really taking control of this bottom lane.
Yeah, they got off to a fast start. They used that second dust for Fly. He needs to keep investing in detection, I believe. Otherwise, this is not going to be as easy for them. And because they've gotten those kills, he can afford to invest in that detection, as well as boots, as well as wards. He should be fine. Z-Freak's having a great time in the jungle. Look at his Chen army. He's level 5. He's 1,500 gold in the bank. Whether he wants his boots or maybe an early mech, it's going to be coming out soon. The Broodmother having a rough time as well, which we've already discussed. So Root are doing fantastically top and mid, but bottom lane is turning into kind of a disaster. I wouldn't kind it a total disaster yet, but
they're going for the push.
Yeah,
this is that time. This is just kind of traditional Chen build up. He's gotten all the farm he could ask for in the jungle to work with. He's got a nice little army here, a couple of trolls, a tomato, and it's time to go for this tier 1. Help is nearby in the form of Fluff on his Lina, but I don't think they have enough to stop him from getting this bit of pressure. Monkeys moves in. Fly does not have any detection on hand. Neither does Z-Freak here. He recognizes that, but it looks like they're going to get what they want, and that's going to be the tier 1.
Yeah, the tower should fall here. Monkeys Forever could try to go for a deny play. It would be a little bit difficult with how much damage they could pump out here, and a couple of seconds, in fact. Yeah, they're just going to let this tower go. And Phantom Lancer will pick up the last hit. Nicely played there. So in the lane they have an advantage in, they push the pressure, they make sure they get that tier 1 tower, they make sure they get Ziz some extra farm. And now it kind of comes down to, can we do more damage? Can we either rotate elsewhere or maybe even go for this tier 2 tower? And that's exactly what they're doing.
The only other help they can really get for this bottom lane right now is maybe the Witch Doctor, if he can come by, but he's still hanging at the top lane while Clinks gets his bit of free farm. You know, the Clinks doesn't want to have to roll over and help out. And I was going to say TC as well, but he's flirting out nearby here.
Fly almost died to the Spartalings. TP's away, he's fine. He's good to go.
He has put the 3 points in the Shadow Wave, and I think he's reserving
the points,
the other 2. Maybe just in case you need a Shallow Grave, and you know, maybe he can get away with just putting those points into Poison Touch if they decide to get a bit aggressive. So
he's not had to use it yet, which is really, really important for him, just holding those points. Moo is sitting at 43 last hits. He's putting pressure onto the tier 1 tower top lane. They're going to rotate Fly up here if they want to get a bit aggressive. They have Moonbander, who's at level 4. The Broodmother is sitting at level 5, so despite dying twice, Monkeys Forever is getting more experience out of this offlane and certainly more CS. He's up to 15. The offlane Moonmeander Spirit Breaker is sitting at 1 last hit. So they're looking to get something here for the Spirit Breaker and maybe even try to take down that Clinks, but that's a tall order.
Yeah, Moon hasn't died, which is good for him, and now Fly feels that they've gotten what they need out of the bottom lane, and now he's going to help out Moon to get a bit more loving now. So he's going to be able to feel a bit more secure about pushing his advantage in the lane here. And meanwhile, look at Siegfried. He's moving in the jungle, catches out TC. TC's going to go down here. That's almost a solo pick-off with that. But, of course, Fly is there to help out nearby, and Moon charges onto him. They go for the next target. It's going to be Fluff. Fluff going to get bumped back right here. Fun dishes out the cast to slow him down. Does help out. Nice convenient bounce. Is going to catch out Swindle Melons. And with that, they have to pull back and away. But look at this complexity. They have to double back and look to finish off this tier 1. They pop the Dragon Form, and they're just going to go from objective to objective now.
It's pretty much exactly how last game went, kind of. They had a bit more, I think, in terms of early game aggression for complexity last game, but 3 kills is not bad. They maybe wish Moon had gotten more in that offlane, but they're getting towers, and that's all I can really ask for. They're charging bottom. Rude. They have detection coming in soon from Swindle. Maybe the Breathe Fire, the Sentry's down. Monkeys Forever, no bash is coming in. They do use the Empowering Haste. He's going to just buy all of his items. The last right click won't kill him. Oh. He's got the regen going. He can salve up as well. They don't have detection. He's going to make it out alive just barely. Oh, that Breathe Fire almost connected. He would have died. That was sketchy as all hell.
You got to remember that Dragon's Breath, the Corrosive Breath, whatever, is lethal now.
Yeah.
And it was very close. You got down to like what looked like about 30-something odd HP. Hey, Moo's like, thank you for the creep. He's going to take that away from Chen. Get a bit of harassment out there on the way back, but it's clear Complexity feel like they have the power advantage, and they're looking to take more control of the map and start pushing down those towers. We saw how much of a benefit they got from it in the last game. They're looking to do a bit of the same here in game number 2.
Brood has a 50% win rate across the board, it looks like, on Dire and Radiant. So in the offlane, that's actually, this hero, not really good, not really bad. Depends on how you play it, how you utilize it for Monkeys Forever. He's already had a bit of a rough start, but he seems to be getting back into it. They're giving him free farm now, which I think is unfortunate. They tried to kill him that earlier, just a couple of minutes ago, in fact, and they weren't successful, but now he's getting the jungle to work with. Tier 1 tower, he's already put some pressure onto this. Meanwhile, top lane.
Yeah, we got creeping in here. Root Gaming smoked up. They are going to get popped right here. Z3's going to send over the creeps. TC trying to raise them on down with the help of Moo as well. Going to be able to pack down the 1. Trying to rid of that pesky little Chen army as much as possible. It's very apparent Complexity wanted to push on forward and try to take this tier 1 top. But Root Gaming are there to answer the call and not going to allow it to go down so easy. In fact, they might look to pressure their own tower.
This has been a part of all of these tower pushes, which I think is the most interesting. And he's going to take a couple of right clicks, but he's fine. He's going for early treads into Aquila, whether he wants to go for a drum into, say, Diffusal, which we saw earlier, or a Vlad's remains to be seen, either of which are certainly fine in this situation. Tier 1 tower getting pressured, but they have to back up the creeper to demolish. And time to Swindle bottom. Someone's going to find out Monkeys Forever. He has Breathe Fire. He's going to use it and clear up a couple of the damn Spiderlings. He's also got a cloak casually. And he'll get body blocked by a couple of the Spiderlings. That was a nice play coming out from Monkeys Forever.
That cloak, is he trying to go for the Glimmer Cape and then dissemble it and go for the Shadow Blade thereafter? Maybe.
That would be interesting. I would not mind that pickup. They're all sitting bottom, though. Monkeys? He's fine. Top lane is where the action's probably going to happen. Ziz is going to walk in.
Root have yet to get themselves on the board, so they're getting hungry for a kill, but they're going to make the commit to go onto Moon. Weed's going to be popping out here. Does connect, but okay, they get the nice stun. Ziz could be baited in into his own death here. Nope, looks like he's going to make it away. No problem. Only put the 1 point into Doppelganger. You know, he did the full committed point into Spirit Lance and then just the 1/1/1 thereafter.
Sentry, another bash bottom, and they're going to hit Monkeys Forever as well. Nice play. TC rotating a bit too late. Swindle even popping the Elder Dragon form for that. They get the kill. Huge pickup. Z-Freak's going to rotate through as well. They really want this tier 2 tower top lane. Moo getting jumped on here, but nothing actually happening. TC, no, he's fine. Oh, Moo's getting charged top.
Yep, there goes the charge, the call. Moo has nowhere to run here, and they move on to him. This is going to be an easy pick. Not if Fluff has anything to say about it. Connects with a good stun, trying to keep Ziz back and at bay, but he commits in with the Spirit Lance. The charge is still coming. Moo's going to commit for this. He thinks he can finish him off right here. Can Fun stop him? He doesn't have the mana for a cask or anything. Instead, he's going to get the one bumped. Is 17% enough to get a bash right here? It is not, but man, he hits freaking hard.
Moon did not have detection. The dust just wore off as Moo walked out.
Oh, he wants it. He wants fun. He's charging on in. Get over here, boy. He wants to get him. Bumps him back once. Getting the help from Clinks. He's going too far, but he ends up getting the kill. Was it worth? I don't think so. Karut finally get themselves on the board, and it's Clinks who picks up the kill.
If you're saying space created because they just got the tier 1 tower, maybe that's fine, but that kill is definitely... You don't need to go that far. Like, Voodoo Restoration was doing work for that Witch Doctor. That was a bit awkward. Still, he gets the kill. He doesn't end up dying for it. Who got the experience there? Moon did. Okay. Clinks did get a kill on Moon, which is not great. You do not want to give kills to Clinks like that randomly. Root will get a tier 1 tower bottom as the glyph comes out. Monkeys Forever has done work, and this is pretty much exactly what you need to do as a Broodmother. If you're not getting that tier 1 tower early when there's this 5-man aggression, then this pick is not working out. So they get the early tower. At least that's something for Monkeys Forever.
Yeah, it's already been a bit of a struggle for him. 0-3 on this Brood, but he's looking to establish his spider home here in this bottom lane and try to go under the radar, but top lane. They scout out Moo. They got the charge already coming in, plus the weave. Waiting in the back lines here. Still under detection, still with vision. Everything Clink sees, so does Complexity here, as long as this charge is coming out. But they will cancel it and pull back. Not that fight that they want to take. Root Gaming just kind of reassess the situation.
They're essentially playing 4 versus 5 in all these engagements. Although Ziz did not come to that last engagement, they just can't fight right now. It's clear that there's too much Complexity. They have the Chen mech, they have the Hand of God coming out, they have the Elder Dragon form. Clinks is not ready to fight into that. He's going to be picking up a Mithril Hammer for what might be a Desolator. Meanwhile, Monkeys Forever are going to get scouted out. They have a Sentry, but he's just too damn fast. Fly is definitely trying to chase him. He might just die to these Spiderlings. Oh my god. Oh, the Shadow Wave clears up a couple of them, but Fly's like, that hurt. That did not feel very good.
Yeah. They pull back. They're not going to be able to continue on their pressure on the way back, and you can see Root Gaming, they had to place down some pretty defensive wards here. Probably something you don't want to have to do at this point, but they want to secure their own jungle for this extra bit of farm. TC working at it right now. Now this game, he will be the mech holder. Actually has it now complete. Just needs to get it into his pocket and ready to go. And if you look over to your Clinks, yeah, you already talked about it, the hammer. Could be that Desolator. It is a lot cheaper now, you got to remember. Yeah. So a bit more of a value grab for your TAs, your Weavers, and, well, possibly your Clinks, who now benefit from using both Searing Arrows and the Desolator together.
Oh my god, DK takes no damage from any of those Searing Arrows and right-click coming out from the Clinks. He is 18 armor currently. He is feeling pretty good at this point in time. Like, he's tanky as hell. He can have Weave. If Fun decided to rotate up, he can grave him as well. Swindle is going to be so difficult to take down. But they do take the tier 1 for Root Gaming. That's really important. You talked about the jungle and making sure it's open for the Dire side. Now Root have an opportunity. They're going to even Sentry another ward here that they saw previously. There's still more wards. You can see this one, which is really well placed coming out from the side of Complexity, making sure they have vision into the entrance of the jungle. Fun doesn't have detection. Moose sitting on 1330, not quite at that second Mithril Hammer yet. They're kind of stifling the push from Complexity. Again, an early game lineup for Complexity. And the biggest issue so far is the Broodmother is doing work bottom and continues to do so. He's going to
charges out onto Monkeys. Ziz is here. He's pretty far in. He's trying to make a go. The dust is going to be the follow-up here. Ziz looking to move on in. He's seeing a lot of damage from those Broodlings now. They're going to make the full commit. They're going to be able to finish him off. TC, though, is on the chase trying to scout out Ziz. Ziz is going to make his way out. Moon, not going to be so lucky. Trying to TP away, but it is going to get canceled, and he will pay the price. So a 1-for-1 exchange. Did Ziz get that first kill? He did not. It went to Moon. So, a bit of a wash, it feels.
I think it's more important to kill the Broodmother at this point for Complexity. That is the entrance to getting this tier 2 tower top lane, because they rotated a lot of heroes down bottom to get that counter kill. So Swindle is going to be going for the tier 2 top, might not be able to get it. There's going to be smoke from Root Gaming. They're going to head all the way up top, looking to engage on this in the backside. I said we Swindlemelon's Elder Dragon Form still there for a while. He also has a Shadow Blade. Mackinac, there is Hand of God. They're going to get jumped on. Fluff looking for an LSA. He's going to find it on his The cask as well. Going to come out. Move. Laguna Blade. Fly. Stays alive. Hand of God. Moves in trouble. Does get the death packed up. Now there's the Death Ward. Fly. Looking to fall. Last right click. TC. Getting it done. LSA does connect. Swindle was able to Shadow Blade away just in the nick of time. They did get that tier 1 tower. Chen picks up the last hit, but they lose 2 heroes in the process, and that does provide Moo his Desolator. And
that was even with a pretty underwhelming Death Ward. You know, the Witch Doctor was a bit short for the mana. Not really surprised. If you look at his inventory, he's pretty broke. Broke as a joke. He's got Boots of Wand and a ward. So he doesn't really have much to, save for himself. So with that comes a pretty short mana pool. He had to wait a bit till he got the mana together from his wand to do the Death Ward. By the time he got it down, it was a bit out of position, but they still were able to come out on top. Now Complexity are able to walk away with their prize and taking out the tower, but Root Gaming also get a bit more. You already talked about the items now picked up for them, and I'm very curious to see where this Clinks is going to be doing now with this Desolator. Is this enough for your own solo pickoffs? Well, he thinks so, and he's going to start moving in. They have the Sentry nearby, however, but he seems to think that maybe he could do something here for Ziz. But this isn't your Orchid Clinks, so I don't think he's going to be able to stop him. So
off his 2, they're charging Moo. Ziz is dead. Oh, Doppelganger. LC doesn't go though. Fluff going to get it off now, but actually can't. Decides to back away. Moo's still getting charged. Moonman Nether Strike. LSA does connect. The cast bounces away. Fun trying to TP away. Bash. No Bash coming through. He's able to TP out. Fluff might not be so lucky. Doppelganger comes in, and what was a 3-man rotation gang squad from Root Gaming actually turns up to being just the lean to dead.
That was very awkward. In fact, it almost seemed to work out in their favor. Ziz did the Doppelganger over to the Clink to connect onto him, which allowed him to jump over the Root Gaming intruders, that being, of course, Fluff and Fun. And because of it, they were a bit disoriented, and it was Complexity who ended up turning things right around. With Moon quickly charging on in, they decided to change targets, went for Fluff, they got their kill, and with that, they want to be able to segue into this Roach Pit. Monkeys Forever is nearby. We're going to see some sort of cheeky play here. Are we looking on detection here, boys? On the side of Complexity, well, they dish out the weave to make sure they got that little bit of extra vision.
They have the gem as well for Z-Freak.
And they have that ward on the high ground, so
they know exactly what he's doing.
So this is looking like Complexity are going to be able to finish this one off, and Root could put themselves in a bit of a bad spot, and they connect from the north. Swindle moves in. They're going to scout out Fun. Fun's in trouble here, but they have a nice mech coming up from DC. Now the Laguna flies, but there goes a big Requiem. Swindle, what a save with the Grave, and now he continues to fight out with his last dying breath, but it's Moo looking to clean up on his Clinks with that shiny new Desolator. They wipe out 2. They want 3. Fly, our previous game MVP, could be going down here. He's still on the run from Monkeys, slowly wearing him down, but he decides to pull back. The payback coming out from Moon, looking to charge on in. Swindle is back with full life. Meanwhile, they were able to finish off the Roach with Root Gaming. Aegis now going to be picked up on Moo, and he says, I'm going to get the hell out of here. Will he be so lucky, though? Oh, they got the dust. A charge will be there shortly. He already put out the urn. Another strike from above, and that is your Aegis. Down.
What is it about these Roshan fights for NA Dota that goes so horribly wrong? Moo's going to get bashed up, dies a second time with the Aegis already gone. That's a big pickup there. They did get Roshan, they did get the Aegis, they did get the beginning of that fight. Fantastic play. I believe it was Fly sending back, no, not Fly, rather, Z-Freak sending back the Dragon Knight before he died. He was able to live, come back in with that Elder Dragon form, try to do enough damage. They end up getting the Clinks. That's huge. They keep Swindlemelons alive. But big Root Gaming push. They get actually the Aegis, they get the Roshan as well. So pretty big steal coming out. Swindlemelons is going to get jumped on. Looking for a kill. Do they have detection? They might actually have that gem. They picked it up for Root. They have it on Monkeys Forever. In fact, he's also got the big in 1. And they have it ready to go. But Swindle is just too damn taken. They need a Desolator, and he's not alive right now. Clinks is still dead for 4 seconds. So they don't have the damage to dish out to get through that Dragon Blood and all that armor and HP that DK has. So.
Meanwhile, TC, who is trying to be that backup core carry, of course, into the late game, now has his Y complete here. Stepping off and away from something like your BKB to go a bit more with the hard hit. It does give him, of course, a little bit of an extra hit, HP pool. We'll have to see if it's going to be enough here.
It's not what I was expecting TC to go, but he already has the mech. I don't know what else he could have picked up. SMY seems to be, I guess, a good choice in this situation. The main coming out, the slow, just another way to chase heroes down. Z-Freak is, or rather Ziz, is going to be the big issue for Root Gaming. How do they chew through this PL, especially when he gets tanky enough? Instead, Root say they don't really want to fight the PL head-on. They're going to head towards that tier 1 tower mid, and they're going to try to push this down. They have Desolator, they have Presence of the Dark Lord ready to go. They're chunking through this tier 1 tower. They're going to get it. Ziz rotates in. PC jumped on. The Spear Lance coming through. Doppelganger's away. Requiem comes out. Kind of a zoning Requiem.
No mana for Mech as well.
Yeah, Z-Freak is going to get his pick off. The Hand of God's still there. He's going to get a huge grave. The last right click coming through. Full stay alive. Hand of God gets off. Death Ward finally comes through. Gets canceled immediately. Moo gets jumped on. Moo gets blown up. The Diffusal Blade damage is real. He's too squishy. He has no HP, especially with the Dark Pack gone. Fluff in trouble. Moon chasing him down. He's got the charge up in 1. Fluff looks like he might get jumped on. Double charge coming in. There is no Nether Strike, however. They don't get the pass bash. But here comes Swindle back into the fray. Gets stunned up. Fluff. Last right click comes in. Fly will get the kill. Doppelganger forward. They want Fun. Do they have a Diffusal charge? They do. Fun's pretty speedy, but Ziz is going to be able to catch up, and especially if they have the charge. Spirit Lance comes through. They get the Doppelganger.
That's a gem.
The kill, and the gem picked up as well for Complexity.
Oh man, another unfortunate circumstance there for Root Gaming. A subpar Death Ward that didn't really work out. TC charging on in, but didn't really have the mana. You know, to Ice Frog for raising that frickin' mana cost, 225 just to pop the frickin' mech, and he didn't have it ready to go. Oh, very unfortunate for them, but it's Complexity who just come out far and ahead. They're going to be able to follow up that big fight with a tier 2 tower. Momentum is on their side, 12-7 here. Looking pretty good. The 2-0 sweep is in a horizon here for Complexity.
This is just their game. They've been playing solid. They've been pushing down towers. Even when they haven't been pushing down towers, they've been getting important picks. Monkeys Forever has not had the impact. He's not been split pushing. He went Midas Dagon, so it's not really doing that much in team fights. Even when he's in the team fight, he gets blown up. The Silver Edge comes out again for DK. Swindelman's just trying to show how good this item could be after I said it wasn't particularly good in the last game. This game, it might be a bit better. Any other passives did disable? I don't believe so. Broodmother's Incapacitating Bite, I guess, is okay, but...
Fiery Soul.
Yeah.
Oh, charge in from Moon. He's going to be bumping on the monkeys here. They got the Dust, the Nether Strike, and their Spider. Not really going to be able to get away. It looks like Graves is going to be able to save Fly in the meantime. Now they do trade lives. Moon goes down, and they're going to be able to get the Dazzle. It ends up being a 2-for-1 trade. Advantage for Root. Not too shabby. They'll take what they can get here. Just a bit of overzealous play coming out from Complexity, it seems.
Yeah, they were overextended. Moon's been going in. I mean, you kind of have to run at people as a Spirit Breaker to have any sort of impact, and he's been doing just that. He's had 4 deaths. Surprisingly good game for a Spirit Breaker despite the start that he had. Like, he's been playing very well, and only 4 deaths is not that bad, and he's actually going to have a Shadow Blade relatively soon. I don't think he has it on the courier yet, but he's getting there. TC will finish up his BKB after just getting that SMY. He actually only needs the recipe.
That's good.
And he's going to have that item. That's huge.
Yeah.
They really need some more itemization for Root Gaming. If they play as 5, maybe they can split push, get split pickoffs as well, and that's the most important thing. Complexity, they really want PL to be more farm before they engage on any of these situations because they know how rough the team fight for Root actually can be. They don't want to fight into it just yet, so for Complexity, sit back, split push, farm a bit more, maybe get an Aegis, then go for a tier 2 tower or a tier 3 high ground push. There's only one tier 2 left here for Root Gaming, the middle lane. That's it.
Super important for TC to finish out that BKB. Same for your Moo Clinks. Having those BKBs would certainly help out. We already know how squishy they can be, but having that extra bit of a bonus certainly would help out. Now they come a-knocking at this bottom tier 2 tower. Complexity, are they going to answer the call? Fly's first on the scene here, but only going to be dishing out the Weave for now, side by side with Moon. But all the meanwhile, the rest of their group is just working in the Root jungle, anticipating that they're just going to have to lose a couple of their outer towers, and they put more priority in just securing some easy farm.
So Complexity do the smart thing. They split up the map. No reason to defend. Now with the heroes respawn, they might want to head bottom. Root doing the same. They're staying here for the time being. They're kind of pushing with Monkeys Forever. They're not letting him do his own thing, which is fine. Moon Meander is going to be able to get a couple of last hits here. They're still splitting up the farm pretty well by heading to the enemy jungle, as you talked about. Ziz, is he going to finish with the Manta? Is he going to just maybe go for something else here in the next couple of moments? He already has the Diffusal Blade, so Manta should be the next logical choice for the Phantom Lancer.
Yules complete on the fluff. So your Lina gonna have that bit of a setup with the Yules, but mid lane here, Swindle moving on in and gonna get the stun onto Moo. Fun also in a bit of trouble from your PL. Moo gonna be the focal point, it looks like for now, but now he's gonna dish out the damage, trying to go for Z-Freak. Z-Freak able to get the grave and the heal off, so Moo in trouble, will be brought down. Klink's gonna hit the deck, moves on to the next target. They're gonna get the stun on the fluff. Fluff goes down. Huge heal coming out from Fly, dishing out the big bulk of that damage. Clean up on the back end as it's gonna be Monkeys Forever, wiping out Chen. Meanwhile, they're looking to charge on in onto TC. They're gonna cancel that charge as he makes his way into the base. Instead, maybe hoping to find a catch on the Fun, but Fun goes sneak his way out, but not Monkeys. Man, it's been a hard game for your Broodmother on this one. He goes down again in the mid lane, and with that complexity, you're going to be able to get an easy tier 2.
There was also a double damage for Phantom Lance for that entire team bite, so he just has the Blueberry Rune. He's able to go to work, gets the kill on a couple of heroes. They have buyback on every hero except for Fluff, but he'll respawn. There's the BKB from TC, has to force it out a bit early. Will they push this back? I don't know if Complexity really want to fight this. Shadowblade, Silver Edge is going to go, the cast will connect. They don't have detection. Fly might be the one, the martyr for Complexity. Meanwhile, bottom lane, there's a big wave pushing in with the Spiderlings as well. So Complexity do the smart thing. They back away, they defend their tier 3 tower bottom lane. They don't want to give away too much here, even with the push going in. They don't get the tier 3 tower, but that is some nice damage. It's going to be there when they come back as well.
You can tell Rooter like trying to get Fluff in there in the action. He could be the Yules for TC's Requiem, but just couldn't really get close enough to get any sort of setup on the way out. So with that, they kind of just hold their ground. Moonbeander is going to be able to finish his Shadow Blade here. So you got that nice little Shadow Blade charge. They literally will not see coming. And he's looking to make use of it right now. There's going to be the smoke and now the charge through. He's going to cross pass with Fluff. Fluff is scouted here, but Moonbeander still under Shadow Blade. One hit. Oh, nice quick Yules from Fluff. Is going to stop the Nether Strike. Gets off the LSA. Can he make it away in time? Swindle is on the chase here. Drops down the Sentry. They're going to scout out the Dragon Knight.
This is awkward.
And Fluff is going to slip. Meanwhile, on the other side, it's TC who gets caught out and brought down. Ziz, mega kill for your PL. Fluff going to get caught thereafter. And it's a quick 2-0 grab here for Complexity. Swindle and Ziz cleaning up.
No buyback for TC either. Down for 58 seconds. He just bought his BKB. Fun cancels his TP. Does not get charged in the base. The Nether Strike goes and pushes him back out.
Oh, man.
This is disastrous for Root Gaming. They were doing fine up until this last team fight, this last engagement. That smoke into that charge coming out from the Spirit Breaker might have been game ending. Our Complexity going to take the series 2-0. I don't think anyone would have expected that. Complexity on the seat of a 2-0 right now. Ziz push into the tier 3 tower. They have the glyph available. They're not going to use it just yet.
No TC for 30 seconds. You gotta be kidding me. So with that, it looks like your first set of Rex should be going down. But my oh my. Who'd have thunk? The underdogs coming into this matchup, Complexity looking pretty damn good.
They're going to push into the bottom racks, or rather mid racks as well. Top racks, they don't even deal with the range racks. It's just going to be, honestly, at this point, I think Moonbeander has been the top player for this squad at this point. He hasn't died nearly enough. He's had so many kills. They get the racks, but he might be on the receiving end of a death. They get the Grave off and the mech. They send him back with Z-Freak. He gets out alive. Fly might not be so lucky. The Martyr coming out. Will he be dead in the dirt is the question. He's got his Grave up in 6, not dying nearly quick enough, and then he gets chunked down with a Spawn Spiderlings and a Desolator hit. He will fall in the end. They pick up his gem. Musical gems coming out for the side of Complexity and Root Gaming. They're just dropping them, and they're all over the place, honestly. But good defense, but they lose 2 melee racks is not the best coming out for Root Gaming. They are really staring down the barrel of a 2-0 right now.
Moose gets out Roche. Thinking about going at it. He's going to need some help here. Help is on the way, Dia. With that, Root Gaming might be able to secure an Aegis. This is the first step in the right direction for them to get back into this game. And with that, Clink should be able to easily clean up his BKB. He will not have buyback gold, buying out for it. But clearly there's priority on making sure this Clinks can stay alive in these hectic fights. But then you look at the other side and team like Complexity. Now Solar Crest complete on your Chen, something he got in just the last game, and we already know the work it can do. But it looks like Complexity are not going to see this one coming. Good grab. It's going to be TC who does pick up that Aegis, and with that, Monkeys Forever is going to be leveling up his Dagon. Unfortunately for Monkeys Forever, this could be back-to-back games where it's a bit of an underperformance from him. You know, first game with the Sven, maybe he did the best that he could with a bit of a support kind of Sven grab. This game is Brood. It's been a bit of a difficult time. Starting in his laning phase 0-3, now 1-7. It's a rough life, man.
Monkeys Forever definitely not feeling great, but the good thing is that these are the qualifiers. There's group stages. There's still many games to be played, and this game's not over yet. He has the level 4 Dagon. He's almost level 16 as well, and when he gets that 3rd level of Insatiable Hunger, the lifesteal comes out to bonus damage as well. It's tough to fight into, but Ziz is becoming so massive. His Mantis style is done. His Diffusal 1 is done. He's got his Ultimate Orb as well for whatever item he wants to go for next. Maybe a Scotty, just to get him that extra HP. The standard of the agility carry nowadays is the Scotty is going to get picked up probably pretty soon.
I wonder why is this Ring of Aquila turned off right now? You could, I don't know, have it on?
I don't know. That seems really weird. There's no point keeping it off early on or later on in this game, I think. Whatever. doesn't matter too much. They are going to be pushing in. TC is trying to clear up these illusions. And look at the illusions just do so much damage. Running out of mana. Moose Style is the Aegis, the Phantom Rush from the Manta Style. The Spirit Lance coming out so hard to push into this. TC might actually die. He's got the Aegis. He wants to use it before it goes down, but he's about to fall. They do pick up the kill with the Laguna Blade onto Fly Moo, getting chunked down as well. Look at the damage from the Diffusal Blade. The PL just absolutely zaps Roots Moo.
TC's charging in, but his team's not ready. They still have their arms full. He's going to go down. Oh, no. That is not what you want to be doing when you're trying to go for a final hurrah. And they're like that. That's it. I think that was, they were hoping for that fight to go their way. But it's not happening. I mean, if you look back at their base already, the push is still going in, and then they would not have had TC there. Oh. Not Root Gaming's best showing here.
No, what is Zaz was showing, in fact, for that first series? The push came up from Complexity, and they just couldn't handle it. They picked a Broodmother. He did an okay job split pushing, getting that Tier 1 tower, but then he went Dagon Midas, and then Complexity are like, we're just going to fight now. We're going to take all your bases. We're going to smoke up. We're going to get pickoffs as well. And from that point, Root really couldn't do anything.